All right, fresh off the heels of Leah Knauer's episode, and then I didn't think I could top it off, but when Mandy and Andy came on, that was the real deal there. I mean, the hottest comedy duo since the Smothers Brothers, Willie, Tyler, and Lester, Tom Dreesen and Tim Reed, Crockett and Tubbs. So I had to follow up that episode with a heavy hitter in the LA comedy scene. This guy's no joke. When Whitney Lee Rice left me at the haters table, I had to replace her, and you just don't get to sit at the haters table. It's not like, oh, there's an empty chair, I'm going to fill it with anyone. This man is one of the elite roasters in the LA comedy community, and he's a great comic. So you will know after this episode why he's sitting at the table on a weekly basis when he's not roasting and kicking ass. Put your grubby little sausage fingers together for my good friend and comic, Omid Singh.
I totally thought you were going to get my name wrong after that intro.
Well, I, for a while, was calling you Omid.
Yeah, but everybody calls me Omid.
And you never corrected me, so because you're such a nice guy.
It's true. There's just no point. And then once you realize, like, oh, we're going to be hanging out a bunch, it's worth getting the right name in there.
And then one night you told me at the Comedy Store, and I felt like the biggest dipshit ever. I've been calling Omid.
Everyone calls me Omid, though. Literally, Omid sign is really what I get more than anything else.
And
up until recently, I think.
Well, I get the same thing with my last name. It's
Skakel?
Skakel, to me, it's pretty, like, simple name to say. But when I used to open up for Rob Schneider and they used the local openers because everyone's too cheap to pay for, like, someone who's, like, can open. I would get Ernie Skunkle,
wow.
Eric Stiles, Skankler. So it's...
How long have you been opening for Schneider?
Longer than you'd think.
Really?
And I mean, I've opened everywhere. No, about 4 years. And he's awesome, dude. And I know you've opened for, like, was it Maz Jabroni?
Yeah. Just this year, for the first time, like, got to do Orlando with him, which was a lot of fun.
And tell the people out there, for people like me and Omid Omid's a lot younger than I am, but...
Not a lot. Well, probably a lot.
Yeah, I mean...
We
might turn this into a roast battle, like a pre. No, I'd be afraid to go up against you, but
me too.
Because you're a killer, dude.
Like you have to be in it. You have to be in that room.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if you're going up against friends, you have to, like. I mean, last week, Olivia did a dead retarded brother joke.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no holds barred.
And Leah was great too. Leah was.
Oh, I'd be afraid to go up.
She was
her.
great. I think both of them had like one of the best battles, probably the best battle we've seen. As far as like most exciting, and just having the crowd explode from second one from the first joke. That was a great thing to watch.
I mean, that might have been the best battle I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And there have been some great ones. You've been a part of some great ones.
Mike Lawrence is a part of a great one too.
Yeah, Mike's tough to, because you think that, he kind of looks
like he's not all there, and then he's even more there.
Yeah, he's like a smart caveman.
He's a smart caveman. He doesn't use rocks. He's already figured something else out besides rocks.
Yeah, he uses verbal rocks.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? Well, let's get like you and I are at probably the same level fame-wise, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Well, I mean, we're bench warmers. I was in Argo though for half a second.
But I was in bench warmers for maybe half a second longer than half a second. I mean, we're at the same level, I guess you'd say, from the standpoint of notoriety.
Okay.
Both funny dudes, both
hanging out.
Everyone loves us.
Yeah, totally.
So, what was it like? Like when I play a show on my own, I'm not exactly a draw, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
What was it like that first time you did a show with Maz? And he sells out everywhere.
Yeah, it was great. It was his first time going to Orlando at the Improv, and so he was hesitant about the weekend, and it was a great weekend. We did like 5 shows, and getting a feature for him was awesome.
And he's like Schneider. He's a great dude.
Totally a great dude. Like the best part is after you leave the show and then you go and you do whatever he wants to do. You kind of like tag along with the headliner because as a guy who's not headlining, you kind of learn from them what do they do to stay sane and all that kind of stuff. So whatever it was, whether like most of the nights it was like going to the hotel bar and just like sitting down, having a glass of wine, talking to the bartender, and like maybe watching a Sports Center highlight. So it's cool to get that aspect, like, oh, it's just the normal stuff that has to happen after the show to live that road life and everything.
Like Rob would go out to eat. He loves to eat.
Sure, I would do that, yeah.
And it's great eating with Deuce Bigalow. Like,
yeah.
Because you, like we were at some place in Chicago. I think that the pizza, the place that's really famous for their deep dish pizza.
Sure.
And it's like hundreds of people waiting in line.
Yeah.
I go up to the front. The guy looks at me and goes, "It's a 2-hour wait, buddy, and another hour to get your food." And then Rob poked his head out from behind me, and literally within 10 minutes we were eating.
That's awesome.
So it's stuff like that.
That's the little things. That's all. Yeah, that's what you want.
You know, it's like that's why I want to make it.
Yeah, get that front of the line pizza. Last night at we went to Harvard and Stone for a friend's birthday party, and she had rented out like the upstairs floor. And then we go up to me and my buddy Robbie. We go up to the bouncer, and we're like, "Hey, we're here for a birthday party." And they're like, "Yeah, that list is closed. You're gonna have to go wait in line." So we wait in line, and then they come out, and like Tara comes out, the girl whose birthday it was, comes out with a friend, and then they're like, "All right, let's try to get you in," and it worked out. Waiting in line sucks, is what I was trying to say.
Oh, waiting in line.
Very long-winded story.
Well, no, it's not though. It's. In Chicago again, there's Rob, was a hockey fan. He's like, "Do you want to go to the Blackhawk game today?" I'm like, "Dude, it's the playoffs. We're not getting in." Even you, or I didn't say this to him, but I'm like, even you. I mean, Chicago's a huge hockey town.
Yeah.
He's like, "Fuck it, let's just go to the box office." Like, so we go. Very much the same reaction. Guy at the pizza place. Guy looks at me and goes, "We're sold out." And he's shutting the window. Rob pokes his head out from behind. Literally within 5 minutes. We're in the arena, basically what would be 50-yard line seats for hockey, and they're making us jerseys with our name on it.
No way.
Yeah,
they're making you jerseys with your name on it?
What's your name, sir? Skakel? How do you spell that? Skakel. What's your favorite number? 87. And 10 minutes later, I have a fully authentic Blackhawk.
What?
It's crazy.
You took that away from like a veteran or something like that was probably going to get
Hey,
it.
welcome to Hollywood, baby. It's a tough business.
It is a tough business. It's incredibly tough. Kind of like the military.
Well, I'm not. Have you been in the military?
No.
That
was a joke.
Well, you might not be. Maybe you were ISIS and you came over.
Oh, yeah, that military. That's a different military, though. We don't take that seriously. That's more of a passion project.
What is your background?
Of my computer or of my...
Hey.
That's my favorite joke.
See, that's why I can never roast you. You're too quick.
That's my favorite joke. No, that's planned out. That's my favorite thing to say to a girl.
But what I mean, I look at you before you say it. I say Middle Eastern.
Yes.
I guess the name would be
Middle Eastern by accident, because I'm not actually Middle Eastern, but I lived in Dubai, so that's Middle East. And then my mom is from Iran, and my dad is from India, which is not the Middle East. Iran is its own thing. India is its own thing. But I've lived in Dubai, which is in the Middle East, so I consider myself a little Middle Eastern.
And what got you into comedy?
Being fat and wanting to talk to girls was one of them. My sister being an improviser, she's older than me, and she was just a really good improviser and had a bunch of good friends around her. This was when she was in high school, when she was like a junior, and I was a 8th grader, and I would go to the high school and watch them perform. That got me really into comedy, and Robin Williams live on Broadway. That special really got me into comedy.
So you saw that, and you're like, when I see interviews with like Kiss, and they say, "We saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan."
Yeah.
That's when I knew.
Yeah. Robin Williams live on Broadway was for sure the big one. And there was some other stuff that really helped. I went to like a comedy class that Daniel Tosh taught at the Irvine Improv.
Really?
Yeah. He did like a one-day thing way back in the day, and it wasn't even just Daniel Tosh. It was like a bunch of like managers and people who like worked at the Improv, and then their special guest was Tosh. And then he talked for like 15 minutes, and then we all got tickets to go see him that night at the Improv. And I was like 17, something like that. Probably still in high school. And that was a big moment, like going to the comedy club and like sitting down, getting a Coke.
And what was his advice? Do you remember? Like,
no, I don't really remember it, to be honest. It was very calm and like probably a lot of like just keep doing it type of stuff. It wasn't very like serious. The best advice I got was from the guy sitting next to me, who was this old guy, and I was like, hey, we just chatted up, and he was like, oh, you got to go to chucklemonkey.com. And so he told me like the website for open mic lists. So that was even more helpful than all the advice that I heard. That advice got me into like my first show and doing like Uncle Clyde's comedy contest at Flappers. Not at Flappers, at the Ice House.
Yeah. You certainly wouldn't want to do a comedy contest at Flappers.
I mean, it's happening right now.
I know. It's like the first. What do they do? This is the Eagle Rock Comedy Contest. And
I don't know.
like some crazy. No, I think Flappers did like the first Bringer Festival.
Yeah, I bet that's what it was labeled as.
I'm not really welcome there, but
is that true?
I don't know why. It's like I don't know. I think I sent out a few tweets about some of their comedy classes.
Yeah,
got back to them.
$400.
Well, I mean, like you took a class from Daniel Tosh. I would take a class from him. That's the guy who even back then
wasn't even a class. It was just like come listen to Tosh talk about the business for 15 minutes.
But I would like.
It was great.
That's what always bothers me about like people who teach comedy classes. It's like, who are you?
Yeah, and it's kind of a solo journey with help. But I guess classes could help if you wanted classes. I took improv classes. Improv classes, I mean, helped a lot for improv.
Where did you take them?
Comedy Sports in high school.
Okay.
I was part of the high school league in Irvine. And so I did that for 4 years. And then I did the college team for less than like a semester of college. I was a community college commuter. And I just wasn't into it anymore. And then I moved to New York.
Do you like doing... I did the Groundlings for a bit and got kicked out.
For what?
I mean, the teacher was insane.
Really?
It's like, don't get mad at me because you haven't made it. I'm not in casting.
Yeah.
You're just a bitter dude.
Yeah. And you're going to come across that, right? In anything.
Well, yeah, but, when you're charging, at the time, like $500.
Yeah.
Like, he kind of lied to me, said, just improve on your space work and you'll get to the next level. And then at the end of the class, the 12th session, he's like, you're not good enough to do this, right?
Whoa.
It's like, well, 6 seasons ago, you told me I was the funniest guy in the room. Just work on my space work. He's like, you can take the class again. I'm like, no, I can't, Sean Hogan. And this was like over a decade ago. I remember that motherfucker's name forever.
Man, I liked my improv teachers' names, and I don't even remember who they are. I mean, I liked my improv teachers. I don't remember their names. You said this.
Well, I hold grudges. So.
Do you really?
Oh, absolutely.
I can't.
I know. I'm
not
trying.
Yet. Only with like. No, I guess I just can't. I don't know why.
I'm trying not to, but it's so hard.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't want to do a real roast battle forever. Because it's like if someone got me good, I'd be like, well, fuck you, man.
Well, what do you consider getting you good? What do you think that means? Like making you laugh really hard or making you sad really hard?
Well, I mean, like if any serious roast battle I will ever do will be against someone like you or Olivia, who I respect and who I think is funny, and like that's roasting to me. Like,
especially in this competitive atmosphere that we've kind of
we've definitely created a law of the jungle. But like I can't
it needed to be done. I think it needed to be done. I think Josh's like addition to it was huge, of like adding the report and everything like that.
Yeah, no,
I think it makes it completely exciting. It makes it something that you can really follow.
No, I know people like call him and say, "Hey, my record's really this," and like people are like into like what their records are.
You're proud of it. Even though as small or as big as it might be, it's still really fun.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like to me, roasting is when you love someone and
I agree.
You care enough about them to like take the time to.
I agree.
Like you and Keith.
That was fun because we've known each other.
Yeah.
It's hard battling somebody you don't know at all. Unless maybe sometimes if you don't like the person, it can be fun too, as long as you're both funny. I'm not saying a little bit of hatred isn't bad, but like I'm sure some of like the bigger people who've done like roast specials don't always like the person that they're roasting, but they respect that person. Respect is also rather important.
Yeah, like I had some young OC comic challenge me after he heard I was doing Olivia. I'm like, I don't even know you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to shit on me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Olivia can shit on me. You can shit on me.
And I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure she will.
Eventually.
We'll just get to that when we get to it. But
that's the rematch.
Well, I mean, I'm scared. She's an animal.
You should be.
Yeah, no.
She's an animal.
She's the real deal.
Yeah, and she's coming for you.
Oh, I know. It's not going to be
OC
like...
doesn't joke, man. OC makes some good roast battlers. We'd love to roast battle for some strange reason.
Well, you guys are like, I know, like, everyone's going to help. People are giving me jokes about her. I know people are giving her jokes. But would you say the key to roast battle is, like, knowing what your weak spots are and preparing for them?
No, not in the slightest.
Oh, really?
No, not even close. I think it's always dodging attention from yourself and just throwing it back to the other person. Whatever they say about you, don't even look like it bothers you. And just keep throwing it back to the other person. No, I don't think it's about what you said at all.
Oh, but see, there you go. That's the beauty of the show.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, like, I know some people who, like, say are, like, for lack of a better word, fat. And they're in denial about, well, they're not going to do any fat jokes against me. So they're unprepared for, like, they didn't write any rebuttals for, well, Joe's fat, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like kind of,
Yeah, that can happen too. I think that's being unprepared. I don't think that's not being like, you got to be in the moment too when you're on stage and you're.
Which I prefer to be. I love being in the moment.
To be.
But it's dangerous.
That's why you have a mic every week and you get to talk because you're in the moment. That danger is what makes it exciting, Earl.
I know, but like.
That's why sometimes, like, when someone's like, oh, I have this in case this person says this about me and this person says this about me, I'm like, just worry about what you're going to say about them. That's, I think, 90% of it, and then 10% of it is what they say about you. Now, you're trying to be funnier than them no matter what.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. If you're doing it right.
You know that room wants blood.
I know.
They don't want, like...
And that's what makes it also exciting. Thank God for them. Or whatever. Whatever those people are that decide that this is worth watching at Tuesday nights at midnight.
Now
live.
Live. It's if you're around the Comedy Store Tuesday nights, it's a can't miss show. It's just the best of what comedy should be. It's great joke writing. It's great rebuttals. It's celebrity judges. I mean, Jeff Ross is the ringleader, so he's like, you couldn't have picked a better person to run a show. Although
Brian Moses.
Oh, and Moses is like the best host.
The best.
And he probably has the toughest job.
By far. And he's killing it. He's murdering it, too.
People say we have the toughest job.
He remembers everybody's name. He gets everybody up there. He respects everybody, keeps everybody in line. That man works that show. And it's his show, so it's beautiful that exists. It's nice that he has that.
Well, there's other shows coming from what I understand through the grapevine.
Other shows coming?
I'll tell you off the air. But
okay. I actually have a show that I want to tell you about. We have we might be having a very special show at our house on Sunday.
A week from Sunday.
A week from today.
Well, this podcast will be out tomorrow.
It'll be on Monday, right?
Yes.
So this coming Sunday, there's a big potential we're having an open mic at our house, and if we have that open mic, look out for it, everybody who's listening. Also, Earl, I'd like you to. We talked about it.
I would be humbled and honored.
If you would, thank you.
Because to show you how much I respect you as a comic.
Thank you. It's during the day, so
I'll try and get up.
Yeah, you got to be there before 2:45. That's all.
You
just try to get up.
You are one of the few people I would roast.
Perfect. I'm sure we'll do it eventually.
We will. It'll be, like I see. I was in a room full of roasters, and we're going to talk about your comedy album. That's really live in Bakersfield, recently released.
Yeah.
I don't plug many things on my Facebook page or Twitter. I'm very selfish.
Well, you did.
I'm 47 years old, auditioning for Old Faces of Montreal.
What a category!
The clock is ticking.
By now, yeah, that has to be a category. That's got to be a category by now.
I mean, it's gotten so bad for me now that I email Robbie Pra, who's he runs Just for Laughs. He's the guy. I used to email him every year. Hey, can I audition for New Faces? And now it's like, hey, can I just host the auditions? Can I just get in front of you? Can I just host? So,
I bet a bunch of comics right now are looking up that name.
I know. Sorry, Robbie. It's John Jackson, actually, runs the Just for Laughs. Don't tell Robbie I sent you. I'm behind the eight ball enough in Montreal.
Tell him I did, so that way at least he'll know my name.
Yeah, that's Omid Singh, OMIDSINGH. Tell him he recommended to contact you about new faces.
Every day
for the next, and say
10 years.
Hey, I'd really like Earl Skakel to host the audition.
So at least everybody gets a little bit of piece of action.
Listen, I mean, I got to Montreal through Roast Battle. It's not really the path I wanted to take to Montreal, but
any path. I think the storyline of it is beautiful. It's fun just to go for anything, and to say that you went for a show that, I mean, is so near and dear in the hearts of a lot of people right now in LA. It's pretty exciting.
It was amazing, although it's funny the Green Bay Packers were on, and our last night there, the fifth night,
Aaron Rodgers.
I was told to go after him.
Yeah.
And I went too early. I got so excited to get out these lines. I should have waited.
Yeah.
Because he was sitting right by our table, and he just turned around when I said what I said. And he just looked at me like, dude, I'm making $12 million this year. I got Olivia and Mum right next to me. Mm-hmm. You're not even getting paid for this show. Suck it. So,
wow, Aaron Rodgers is filthy, man. I want to know what he said on the field.
I just said Moses looked like one of those receivers Aaron Rodgers always overthrows.
Oh, it's got to hurt.
Just fell flat. Its line didn't work. He looked at me like, what?
It's because you're in Canada. If you were in anywhere else.
Well, I made a few decisions that week that didn't quite.
The jersey, right?
The jersey thing was a complete disaster.
Complete disaster.
I thought, I'll wear Maple Leaf. Now, for people who aren't hockey fans, you have to understand that hockey in Canada is unlike anything we have in America. Like, football is very popular in America.
Yeah.
Hockey in Canada is 5 times popular.
Yeah.
The 20th guy on the Canadiens, Maple Leafs, Canucks is a celebrity. It's front page news. So I thought, I'll wear a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey. The crowd can't possibly think I'm actually a Maple Leafs fan. They hated me.
They hated you.
I mean, hatred.
Oh, yeah. But that's good, too, right?
They hated me where, like, Whitney was wearing a Canadiens jersey, and she was killing with her lines. I had some pretty funny lines, and they didn't care. So it was an error in judgment.
Whatever.
So, I mean, I was so bad I was looking up plane tickets the next day to get out of there. And then Jason Reitman, a friend of Roast Battle.
Great guy.
Awesome dude.
Didn't know that he was the executive producer of Whiplash, one of my favorite movies.
He's a comer, an up-and-comer.
He's great.
He's already there. He's not coming.
Sure he is.
Well, trust me, I know how this business works.
Will you stop coming one day?
Not Jason Reitman.
No.
Or Ivan Reitman. I mean, if people forget Ivan Reitman was like Meatballs, Stripes, Animal House. I mean, just like. So, and Jason, what did he do? Not Fargo, but
Up in the Air.
Thank You for Not Smoking, I think.
I don't know.
Juno.
I
think that's his one of his many big things. So he talked me down and said, "Dude, you got to stay. It won't be as bad. You know, you just."
No, of course, one bad night, yeah.
But you know how it is when you bomb, and I bombed.
Do you always want to get back on stage immediately, or you want time off?
I want to get back on stage immediately.
Yeah, me too.
You know, it's just
most of the time.
Because I have ADD, OCD.
Yeah. Do you think about multiple decisions over like one topic? Does your brain think of like a bunch of different scenarios?
Yeah, like with that night at the first night of Roast Masters Invitational, I don't know if there's legalities to saying Roast Battle, especially with upcoming shows that might cause problems for everybody.
Oh, really?
Well, there's
off the air,
yeah. Well, I mean, there's some things going down that don't involve our version of the show. Let's just put it that way.
Interesting.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
So, thank you very much, MTV. We'll see you.
No.
No. Instead of hijacking shows, why don't you play some fucking music videos?
Wow.
But I'll tell you off air. I don't want to turn this into
Kurt Loder.
I know. I'm the Matt Drudge for you political junkies.
Wow.
And Matt Drudge is actually where I got a lot of my. He used to have a radio show. You know who he is?
No, I actually don't.
He's got that website, The Drudge Report, which is like the #1 political. He was the one who broke the Clinton Lewinsky dress, the semen, and
wow, what a story!
Oh, crazy story. He's a political commentator, but he used to have a show on Sunday nights, and it was very tongue-in-cheek, and, like, he's gay, but, like, nobody knew, and so he's very, you could tell in his comments, like, he'd throw in these, like, gay zingers, and, like, no one would pick up on it.
Gay Zingers is a great
Yeah, it's a name of a new punk band. Gay Zingers.
Gay Zingers.
He was one of my biggest influences, because I wanted to do, like, smart humor, but smart, stupid humor.
Yeah.
So.
And he did it in the form of
he had a radio show, and he would basically do news stories, and he would, just make fun of people, and he would have.
Earl, you got to be a Daily Show correspondent.
I have no industry contacts.
You can find somebody.
Dude, I'm just trying to do anything. I mean, my last credit on IMDb is Benchwarmers.
That's fine. It's about time.
It's 2006, dude. I've milked it for as much as I can milk it. Trust me, I've milked that credit like a cow with 12 nipples.
Why do you think you're not in anything else?
I want to talk about you, but
okay.
I would say I'm like the band Motorhead. Like, everyone loves me.
Classic, yeah.
But
we all know the hits.
Well, they have one hit, Ace of Spades.
It's a huge hit, though. It counts for at least two.
But like, like everyone loves me, but it's like it doesn't. I'm a comics comic, which is like, to me, almost one of the worst things you can be.
That's hilarious.
But I mean, like, don't you think that, like,
respect? You don't like the respect?
I love the respect.
Yeah.
I love walking into that, even roast battle, people who don't think I'm funny, and I'm sure there are.
Yeah. There has to be.
Are happy. Oh yeah, you can't win 100% of the crowd. You just can't. As great as you are, I'm sure someone walks out of the show, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Doing the haters thing, we save the show a lot.
And we fail the show. So, yeah, sometimes.
Oh no, I bomb up there. I would say 20%.
Yeah.
Of the time, or just but even the shows we save.
Yeah.
Like 2 shows ago, you had great lines. Keith had great lines. I peaked in the beginning part. I'm sure people walked out of that show going, I don't get that table.
Yeah, totally.
So,
Easily.
I mean, I once took a friend. Now, you're going to this place in an hour, the Hermosa Magic Club, to see George Carlin. And this is when he was, I had a feeling he wasn't going to be around much longer. So I told this guy, dude, you got to see. He's, like, to me, the greatest living comic ever at that time. And he walked out 5 minutes into a set. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? That's like, you're like walking out on Led Zeppelin right now. He's like, I'm going to go get some pussy. It just didn't do it for him.
Yeah, it happens.
Which is crazy to me.
I have the same George Carlin story. As I went to go visit my girlfriend that I was dating at Cal Poly SLO, and George Carlin was performing on campus, $10 tickets for students. And I was like, we got to go see him. She's like, nah, I don't want to go. And he died 3 months later.
Yeah, it's like,
it's terrible.
I mean, how do you like deal with, like, when you don't bomb, but like when you don't have a show like that maybe didn't go the way you planned? Do you obsess about it? A
little bit. Yeah, definitely that night. And then in the morning, you kind of forget about it. Write a bunch. Keep writing, even if it's all garbage. Just keep writing in that book just to see if there's even a little nugget of something good that could have come out of that moment that was terrible. And then go back up as much as possible. Sometimes I've taken like a week off. Sometimes like I've been like, I just don't need to do stand-up for the next 3 days. Just don't need to.
Now, do you find when you do a roast battle, because a lot of people say when I do roast battle, my stand-up writing suffers because it's like you obsess on. Do you find a 50-50 mix of?
Oh, I love it. I think that's why I do it. It's just because it improves your writing. Because you have one chance, one opportunity, to quote Eminem, and you have one night to do these jokes, and you have about a month to write them. So it's fun. Oh my God. It's not like anyone's asking for my hour right now anyway. So it's like.
But they are now.
Oh, they are now. Exactly. 3 people. I've sold 4 copies now, actually. And I'm on iTunes now as well. So if you've all been waiting to listen to the album on iTunes, it's on there.
What's the name of the album?
It's called Live in Bakersfield.
Why did you pick Bakersfield?
I actually didn't pick Bakersfield. I literally was just doing a random show there, and I happened to bring my Zoom H4n audio recorder, and I plugged it in the back, and I just pressed record. And I usually never do that. I always feel like that weird, like, if I'm going to record it, the set's going to be bad. Like that weird taboo. It's like saying that like a pitcher's going like with a no-hitter.
Right.
That the minute you plan to like remember it, it's going to be shitty. And this one time, I just pressed play, recorded it, had a good set, didn't think about it. It was just on my Zoom. I went to Edinburgh. I came back, and then I went, and it was like listening through the tracks that were on the Zoom, and this show was there. And I couldn't at first remember what the show was, so I listened to the whole thing. And as I was listening to it, I was like, oh, I'm really happy with this. I like the mix of like crowd work and material, and I like the way I delivered the material, and the audience is just hot. They're good. They laugh at everything. They were really like supportive crowd. And I thought, oh, okay, I think this is it. I think this is my album. I think this is like, I'd be very happy to release this as a first time out type of thing. Because I actually recorded my first comedy album after doing stand-up twice back in high school. I had done stand-up 2 times, and then I was like, hey, I'm going to invite 60 people to my house because my mom had a yoga studio in her house. And I was like, we're going to just put a bunch of like chairs in. I'm going to do an hour. So that was going to be my first actual album, but it never got released because legal. I'm kidding. Just because I actually never got a copy of it from the guy who recorded it. So he might still have a copy of it.
So that's out there, like...
It's not out there, but somebody might have a copy of it.
In like bootleg form.
Yeah, like on like a mini DV camera. We recorded video because it was going to be that good.
Well, you're no fucking joke.
No. When you do stand up twice and you decide you're going to do an hour in your mom's yoga studio, you record the video. I don't know where it is though.
Well, look for that, all you tech heads out there.
Yeah, send it to me.
BitTorrent, Omid.
Or if you can find a girl named Ashley that I went to kindergarten with, that would be nice as well.
She probably taped over it.
Yeah,
probably a real cunt.
She's probably gone. I don't know what gone means, but she's probably still around.
Who knows what gone means? And,
I know.
You know, I mean, I would say, I started comedy in 2000. 85% of the people I started with quit.
80?
85%.
That's huge. I'm glad you told me that.
Well,
that's an interesting statistic.
Did you have a core group of like 10, 12 of you that started together?
Now I do. Now I get not like a core group, but I get the people that I see a lot, and I love them. They're great people, so that's a lot of fun. And then there just seems to be a lot of people that like doing stand-up. There seems to be just a huge amount of people that enjoy doing comedy.
Well, I don't know if they're all doing comedy.
I think they're all doing... I mean, I don't know what they're doing.
They're on stage behind a microphone.
They're on stage behind a microphone under the umbrella of comedy. Right?
It's possible.
It's possible, yeah. It's not 100%, but most of them.
I mean, I think sometimes...
I'd say most of us. I shouldn't say most of them. Most of us. I think I'm guilty of it, too.
Well, I mean, I think sometimes when I see these mass shootings at a school or a church, I'm like, why couldn't that happen at an open mic?
Oh, it would be terrible if it actually did, though. Well, nobody would care. Like
you got to thin the herd.
It's true.
That would be great. It'd be like, oh, fuck, we lost Joe, Jim, and Don, but hey, that's 3 more spots.
I used to tell a joke about how the guy who got shot at in Aurora, remember, for The Dark Knight?
Oh, yeah.
A comedian got shot.
Oh, right.
And so I was telling this joke, like, I know this guy got shot, but you know he's going to be on everybody's top 10 comics to watch next year.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is he caught a lucky break, and it would never work. The joke, like, fell flat every time. But it was nothing ever happened to that guy. I hope he's still doing something. I hope he's alive. God, I hope he didn't die.
No, I think he had lost an eye or something. He had some weird, like...
that's why he can't be famous?
Yeah. All right. I mean, listen. There's that female comic who lost her arm. And I always thought she could get a gig in a Def Leppard tribute band. Oh.
Full circle.
What do you do, though, like when you have a joke, like you just mentioned, that you really think is funny and it never works?
Do it a bunch.
That's what I do.
Do it a bunch. Do it a bunch because I know I'm not going to do it forever. So do as many times as it makes me happy just to see if I can get 3 people in the audience to laugh, if there's 3 people in the audience.
Well, that's about the crowds I draw.
Exactly.
I mean, I have a joke about Godzilla and Baby Godzilla that I have done for 3 years. It's never worked once. But I'm in love with the joke.
Do you want to do it?
Well, no, it's not that. But basically, as a kid, my favorite movie to watch was Son of Godzilla. Because at the end, I cry to this day. If that were to come on right now on the TV in front of us, I would start crying. Because, long story short, Godzilla's a single dad. And he's teaching this kid how to, like, fucking live life. And he, like, there's this great scene where he's trying to teach him to blow fire. And the kid can't do it. He blows out, like, these little smoke rings, and then finally Godzilla whacks him over the head with his tail, and he blows out the fire. And then at the end, Godzilla takes on like 3 monsters at the same time, and they show him holding baby Godzilla's hand, and they walk off into the snow. And it's like, I'm telling you, dude, it's the most heartbreaking. And I just thought that how big Mrs. Godzilla's pussy must be. Like, baby Godzilla came out, and Godzilla was, hitting it hard.
Yeah.
And it's never gotten a laugh. Ever. Like, not once. But I'm so attached to that movie.
I get it.
Do you have a joke like that where it's just like, you want the crowd to like it so much?
There's a Malaysia Airlines joke that goes like... something if there's nobody in the audience, I go like, oh, all the people that were supposed to be here, they couldn't make it because they all had tickets on Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. That's a big one, and that sometimes gets a laugh. And I don't even remember it. I just don't even do it anymore. But like, that was a fun one for a little bit.
Well, see, you stopped doing that one. That's the difference between you and I.
Because one time, you want to know what happened? I was in Edinburgh doing a show, just doing a 20-minute spot. After doing what I thought was a really fun show, did like a fun, like, I went over some sort of like hump. I did something good. And I go and do this 20-minute spot. And I opened with that Malaysia Airlines joke. And a lady from the audience just screamed out, "Get out." That's all she said. Oh, no, get off. Get off. That's all she said. And I was like, ooh, shit.
And what do you do?
I had to keep going. That was in minute 1. And I had to do 19 more minutes. And I slowly won back half the crowd. And by the end of it, I asked somebody in the audience, I was like, did you have a good time? She's like, no, you turned me off from minute 1.
Really?
Like, you were not funny at all. She said that to me a bunch of times. And I was asking for it too. And then somebody else from the audience was like defending me. They're like, we've seen him before. He's funny. And it's like, oh, it was awkward, but I was happy that I got through it. But yeah, I mean, the first lady saying get off as soon as I had finished the joke made it really uncomfortable.
Was she of like Malaysian descent or?
No, she was British.
Do you think now we're gonna get into the Edinburgh? Like, you went there, got your own gigs.
Yeah.
I mean, I was very impressed by. I would have been too discouraged to be like, oh, no one's gonna know who I am.
I needed my dad, man. That's seriously the guy who pushed me to do it. My dad. I was same thing in April. I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm getting nervous. There's no point. And he was just like, just go do it. Just go do it. And I was like, fine. Yeah, that's right. And then I went and did it.
And explain, because I don't even know how to explain what it is. It's a festival.
It's a theater boot camp. You think they call it a festival. It's really a theater boot camp. You're practicing your body and your mind of just going up as many times as possible in 24 days. So you just go up as many times as humanly possible between the hours of literally when you wake up to when you go to sleep. There's shows every day. There's 2,700 shows every day in different venues. And that's just in the like official Edinburgh Festival. Then there's the Edinburgh Free Fringe Festival, which is like simultaneously running, and you can get spots there. You can get anywhere. People are doing like 10 sets a night. I was doing like 4 to 5.
Oh, that's heaven.
It is. It's complete heaven. And because there's audience members there. The city hosts, the city has 1 million people, and then for the festival, another 1 million people show up. So, you know, a lot of the shows, I mean, I didn't get more than, I think one show I had, like my own personal one-man show, I had 55 people in it, in a 65-person room. That was the most.
Do they come, like on that show?
How do they come to that show?
Because they know who you are?
I've either been passing out flyers, they've seen me do a shorter set. There was a great improv show that I was doing out there that got me a lot of people. That was like a midnight show. So people would come the next day after seeing me on that midnight show. That was like my biggest draw. So they'd see me once on a free show at the Edinburgh Free Fringe. and then they would come to see the one-man show. And it was so much fun. I mean, it's just such a blast from the minute you get there. Especially as an American, they treat you great. Not the audience members, but the industry and like the people that are working the festival. They seem to be kind of like fascinated with Americans, which is really fun.
We are an interesting bunch.
We're an interesting bunch, and we have an interesting style of comedy, so it's fun. And it's a good place to be. All the comedians are, they're working. They're trying their best. They want to have good shows.
Is there a camaraderie, like when you see people over there, from LA and like?
A little bit. I met like Bronson Jones out there, and then I met David Yeary, and some of them were just people that I met in like London, like a couple days before actually going out to the festival, and then going out to the festival and like meeting them there. But really, there's not a lot of time to like, hang out. It kind of feels like an abridged version of high school.
Right.
If it's easy to explain like that. Like you only have an X amount of days to really do your best. So like I didn't smoke any weed. I just, worked hard and tried to like be my best at all times.
I can imagine there was no shortage of weed over there.
No, not at all. I mean, you could get drugs very easily and drink and all that kind of stuff. And on the last day we partied and took like Molly. But like that was just like the last night.
Now, do you pay? What impresses me, not just setting up your own shows and getting people into your own shows on your own, you have to pay your own way, right?
Hell yeah. You got to pay for the venue. You got to pay somewhere between $1,000 and, $3,000 for your venue. And then you're making that money back through tickets. So I took my money that I made from the college circuit the year before, and I invested that into Edinburgh. And then it ended up being like a trip that cost me about $2,000. Which was like a vacation for a month.
And do you get like industry stuff out of it? Like, hey, come back?
No, nothing. I mean, not yet. Everyone always promises stuff and like, oh, we're going to get you to come back and do the... One guy was like, you're going to do like the whole circuit. We have a circuit. You can come do all our clubs. Man, you never hear anything back.
Oh, yeah.
But I got to meet Kyle Kinane and Ari Shafir, and those two guys, just that whole trip made it fun and worth it. Like getting to do Ari's This Is Not Happening was so much fun. That show over there was an amazing time. And then Kyle Kinane was on a midnight show with us in like a cave. So like there's little experiences that are fun.
Is it hard to come back to LA and then be at Echoes Under Sunset?
Not really. I mean, the fun part was the day I got back was a Tuesday. So I literally came to the roast battle. So it kind of felt like it never left.
Right.
You kind of like, I landed, I think I went home, took a shower, and then came straight to the club. And it was so much fun just to be home. And it's just a different vibe. I mean, that party atmosphere in Edinburgh, it's not life.
Right.
It's a boot camp. Like, you're literally in basic training. And I think you probably get better. As a first-year person, you probably get a lot better at it every year you go, and you learn how to, like, save money better and how to make money better, too, which is very, very important. There is money to be made there, and it just takes effort and knowledge.
Now, speaking of money to be made, how are you going about... Because a lot of comics release CDs and from their live shows, and some do well, some don't. Did you have a strategy in place? Like, okay, it's recorded. I'm going to iTunes, SoundCloud.
Yeah, there's a company called CD Baby that my roommate told me about. So, like, after I sent... He's an audio engineer, and I sent the clip to him. And then I was like, hey, can you help me clean this up, make it sound any better? And he found somebody on the internet who, like, edited the whole thing and, like, improved all the levels. Then we broke up the tracks into 19 tracks, gave them all titles. And then, you just post it on CD Baby and Bandcamp, and it's just out there. So it's just out there if anybody wants to listen to it. That's the beauty.
Buy it. Don't listen to it.
Buy it, listen to it, do whatever you want with it.
So now it's on iTunes.
It's on iTunes for $9.99 or Bandcamp for $4.99.
And they just look up Omid Singh.
Yep. Just Omid Singh live at Bakersfield.
OMIDSINGH. And now... what's coming up in the future for you? Just comedy shows?
Yeah, this month is pretty good. This month is fun stuff. Doing a Laugh Factory benefit show on Tuesday.
What's the benefit show for?
It's for Persians with... Oh, gosh. This is bad. I should know this. I don't know. Something with
Persians.
Persian people have some problem, and we're helping them out on Tuesday at the Laugh Factory.
Who's on the show?
Masr Brani, Amir K, Kira Soltanovic, I believe.
Saltanovich.
Soltanovic.
Maximini.
No, Maximini's not on the show. Owen Smith. Those are the names that I can remember.
That's
right
good.
now.
That's a great lineup.
Yeah, very excited about that.
I like the show the Laugh Factory just had for the homeless with Tom Arnold headlining. It's like their lives are bad enough already.
Now you gotta listen to Tom Arnold.
Really want to see Tom Arnold eat it for an hour.
I haven't seen Tom Arnold in a long time.
He's a nice guy. But I met Roseanne once. She wouldn't shake my hand.
Why?
She's like, "Oh, I'm a germ freak." I'm like, "You're gonna let Tom Arnold eat your pussy, but you don't want to like touch my hand."
That's hilarious.
So now, any future roast battle
No,
contestants?
nothing yet.
So your schedule is open.
Schedule's open. Besides the roast battle tournament.
Yeah, they're doing. I think, from what I understand, 16, the top 16, 1 through 16 of the current rankings,
That should be fun.
and then I think the finals. I don't know if it's the final or the final four is at LA Riot Fest.
Cool.
So who knows? We may be roasting sooner than
That'd
you
be
think.
fun. Are you in the top 16?
I'm 14.
Oh, wow.
So
I didn't know that, Earl.
Well, I mean, I have a strange. I don't know how they rank me that high. I mean, I have done 3 battles. There's a little bit of controversy with the first one, which was Boone Shakalaka.
No, dude, that's hard. There's no controversy there.
Well, I mean, I beat him, and I'm not bragging, but he's not. And for those of you not listening,
How do you prepare against Boone?
he says the same line over and over. Who does your hair? Who does your hair? And I'm like, well, then I just started going to AIDS jokes.
Yeah.
But this was in the early days where it was kind of a Wild West,
When you were a judge.
Yeah, I mean, I at one point was like a weekly judge.
Yeah.
And then
You were the evil character. You were the I'm trying to think of like what's the good analogy, but like you were the M Bison.
Yeah, I mean, I was like the evil Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah.
And then
You were evil. I really at one point was like, damn, Earl is super mean. But the beauty of you, to be honest, Earl, every time I got off stage, after any roast battle, you would turn off character. You'd be like, dude, that was so nice of you. I mean, great job, whatever.
But it's true. It's like.
But that's what keeps it. That's what keeps it fun.
Well, so it's such a respect for anyone, win or lose. And I have a weird sense of admiration for the people who are the worst roasters.
Yeah.
Because they must know deep down they're bad roasters, and they still do it.
Yeah, sure.
Like I have
Give it a shot.
I've always thought that about like bad comics. Like I almost respect them more than like you're a great comic. Obviously, I respect you, but you know you're good, so you have that confidence to get on stage.
Sometimes.
Yeah, but even on shows that might not,
Sure.
you might not do well, you still are up there. But a bad comic must know they're bad, and they're like, "Fuck it, I'm still gonna go up." I appreciate that.
Interesting.
So,
I don't think I do. Not anymore.
it's a weird. I'm a weird guy with what
Yeah.
It's not like most of my favorite movies involve horrific acting, and I respect bad actors.
Mm-hmm.
Like Van Damme, he must know he's a horrific actor, but he still does it. I respect that.
That's good.
Not really. I mean, I should really respect De Niro.
Yeah.
You know,
But
like-
everybody respects De Niro. He doesn't need any more respect. Van Damme needs respect.
But like the Expendables, that's just like
You respect the Expendables
I
movie?
absolutely.
Oh, I mean, it's a huge blockbuster film, too. So
But
you're not wrong.
You're probably getting the 10 worst actors on the planet together
Giving him guns.
in one movie,
Yeah.
and somehow it's like a good
Huge.
movie.
Yeah.
Like so, but with roast battle, it's a lot of it's balls to get up there.
Community balls.
I mean, whether it's an undercard or main event, I mean, just the pressure in that room is ungodly.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So
It's crazy how much fun it is.
it really is. It's like
And how perfect timing it was somehow in like the storyline of at least my LA comedy career.
I mean,
it's just amazing timing.
I do think you're right that it's LA needed it.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
LA
know what I would do this year without this. to
Yeah,
be
I mean,
honest.
it really gives you something to look forward to every Tuesday.
The consistency is amazing.
And it's like I've been doing comedy. Basically, this is the end of my 15th year. I've seen a lot of hot shows come and go. comedy venues come and go. I mean, I remember in Sal's Comedy Hall on La Brea was like, people were like, this club's amazing. It's like old school New York, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
And then the one on Melrose never really quite captured the scene. And I've seen a lot of hot shows come and go, and Roast Battles seems to be getting stronger.
Yeah.
Like last week, they're
huge.
Open up the stairwells again. I mean, you literally can't. I thought there was a small point in time where I thought, okay, the show's kind of fading. Crowds aren't.
That nervousness moment. I didn't see it though at that point. Everybody was kind of like, "Oh, this might be the end of it." I was like, "No, this isn't. This can't be going anywhere." People are into it.
Oh well, I think they're getting new roasters, and I think it's key to.
It's very important.
Because it's like the best roasters have done it a semi-fair amount, like the Alex Hooper, Joe Yu, Keith, Olivia's now done like I think 5.
Yeah.
So the jokes on you guys are not old, but it's like
you got to bring it. You got to bring a fresh new thing to it.
Yeah, it's like if you're fat. People
I think we're just digging away, we're scraping away at that surface, and now we've done that first level, and now it's getting a little bit deeper and a little bit meaner, which should make for 1, stronger comedians out of us, and just 2, a better show.
Oh yeah, I mean, just in the last 3 days of writing for Olivia, I've written better stand-up jokes because you get in that zone of like, and then this would be a funny joke for. So, and then God knows what I would do writing for you.
I can't wait to ask for a writing. Like, if anyone ever asks for a writing packet from me, I can't wait because I feel like I'm ready now to write one.
Yeah, I mean, you see what I submitted. I think for the Corden show, the Daily Show, and I didn't get any of them, but it was fun to
practice.
Finally, feel confident enough to go. Oh, I can.
I know. That's all I want. I just want a writing job. Just writing late night jokes right now would be amazing.
It's tough because I want to be not the star, but I don't necessarily know if I want to write for someone else.
No, you have a distinct voice though, and I think you can be. I mean, when I've seen you fill in for Tom Green on his show.
That show's interesting.
Yeah, maybe you do it.
I mean, I don't know if his fans are fans of my style of humor, but Tom's
I'm sure they are
quirky though. But I'm a little more I try to be maybe Norm Macdonald meets Stephen Wright.
Nice.
Whereas Tom, I think, is more like Robin Williams meets I don't know, comics of that
Bill
nature.
Maher? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean Bill Maher. Why is that guy so angry, dude? It's like,
he has to be.
It's like, dude, you were in DC Cab. Come on.
What's that?
It was just this wild cult movie with Gary Busey in 1982. I'm sure Bill Maher looks. I've heard Tom Cruise, if he's in an interview, and you bring up losing it, he'll walk out of the interview.
I don't even know what that is.
It's his first movie.
Losing it?
Yeah, it's really funny. It's about 4 kids who go down to Tijuana to lose their virginity.
Wow.
And it's just a stupid teen sex C-level movie, but it's fun to watch because not only is Tom Cruise in it, but Jackie Earl Haley, who's this great actor.
Nice.
And to see them in some teenage, Johnny Depp's first movie is this movie with Dice Clay called Private Resort, where he just works at this resort just getting pussy. And it's this guy basically became the best actor of our generation, and it's just funny to. So, I think that.
Hey, that could be you and Benchwarmers. It's never too late.
It is.
No, I don't think so at all.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, for someone who's been in the business as long as I've been, I can't figure it out. You see people get stuff who shouldn't. You see people who should get stuff don't.
Yeah.
It's that's
But it always makes sense when someone else is backing you. You know what I'm saying? If someone is representing somebody else, it feels good, and I think that adds to it. Like when I say you should be something, I think means something more than I think I should be something.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I'm happy when my friends get stuff.
Yeah, why not?
When Whitney was at the haters table with me, she basically got signed to a big management company through that, and like she deserved. It wasn't just that, because then they saw who's this girl doing this crazy character, and then they saw her YouTube videos, and it was like,
Yeah.
so I love it when stuff like that happens. I would love it if you got something from, not necessarily the haters table, but like
Roast battle in general.
yeah, which I think people who are involved in it with it as much as we are starting to get outside stuff from it.
Yeah.
You know, like I got a cartoon series from it.
That's amazing. With Tyler, right?
Yeah, which is like, you know.
Tyler, the creator cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know who he was. I just started shitting on him because I thought he was just some skinny black kid sitting in the Negro Wave section. So I'm like, oh, I'll just start making fun of this guy.
Worked perfectly.
And, I felt so bad about the things I was saying to him. I walked up to him after the show, and I'm like, hey, man, I'm really sorry. It's just a character, and I don't know if I can say this. I'm going to say it. It's not the ER ending. So just listen to what I'm saying. It's not the ER ending. But Tyler, the creator, looked at me and goes, my nigga, you my nigga. And I'm like, hey, can I call you that? He's like, no. So, and I'm sure, have you gotten any, like comedy gigs from Roast Battle? Or I mean,
I don't think so. No.
But you've gotten a lot of love.
A lot of love. Tons of love. It's amazing how, like, even hearing, like, the last time the battle versus Stewart, before I got called up on stage, somebody just wooed for me. Like, they knew that I was about to come on stage, and they're like, woo! And I was like, oh, that pumped me up just that much more. Because usually, like, in any scenario, nobody knows who the next comedian is if it's, me. It doesn't.
Right.
They don't know me. They've never heard of me. But just to get that one initial, like, but even before you walk out on stage, woo, it meant a lot. That felt really good.
Now, Stuart Thompson, great comic, Northern California comic.
Yeah.
This would be my problem with a roast. Like, you and I are friends, and me and Stuart are friends, but like you and I have a relationship where we could give each other shit
Easily, yeah.
And but Stuart is so nice, and like I'm trying to think of the right way to put this. Like, almost has like that Ted Bundy vibe of just being a normal dude. How do you go about writing for someone who's, like, on the surface anyway, just a normal dude?
I think have fun with it is the best answer. There's no real answer behind it, but it's like, as long as I'm having fun while I'm writing them,
right,
either by myself or with mostly Robbie, like, it's fun. As long as it's fun, it doesn't matter.
And now, is it easier to write, like, when you're in the roast battle realm, like, say you're battling Alex Hooper, who's like this wild character who, great delivery and super funny guy and interesting look. Versus
you have to try not to get distracted by that, though. I think there's like 2 jokes you can make about that, and the rest of it you got to again do your homework, and research, and all that kind of stuff.
How do you go about writing for your own personal stand-up?
I just keep writing. I like to keep buying notebooks and keep filling them up. Even if there's nothing in it that's important, just the repetition of it, of paper to pen, has worked for me. Yeah,
I mean, I try and write like my favorite group, Kiss.
You're trying to get Gene Simmons, right?
I'm trying. I'm having anyone who listens to this podcast in a respectful manner, which sometimes my fans aren't exactly. Their senses aren't really skewed toward respectful manner. Just, tweet at Gene Simmons. I would like to see you on Inappropriate, Earl, because I just think that
he can't be. I mean, we can get him on. There's no way
I think he would.
He can't dodge you for this much longer.
I met him once. I got punked recently, and I won't bore the audience or you with the full story, but basically Whitney said, hey, can you cover for me at this stand-up show? I'm like, sure, no problem. It was a very bizarre set of circumstances. Just park here. The host will come get you. I'm like, well, is the show in the building? Well, the host will come get you. And then the host gets me. They wouldn't let me in the room. I could tell there was hundreds of people in the room just through the audience reactions I was hearing. And then they called me, and I run up to the stage, and it's an empty chair and then Gene Simmons.
Wow.
So I got to interview Gene Simmons.
So you already have done this.
Well, yeah, but it was for 10 minutes, and I did not know this was happening, so I was just kind of like, I've never been stuck.
Who set that up?
Skylar Stone and Ryan Bromes and Whitney Rice. It was like and Skylar used to work on Punk'd.
Yeah.
So he was very familiar with how to set up a good punking. I wouldn't say it was punking because it was like
a dream come true.
Like getting to meet like not my idol, but like
Michael Jordan. Who cares?
Yeah,
Anybody.
I guess my idol, for lack of a better word. And he couldn't have been any nicer. And he invited me with his family to dinner, and I'm like, Gene, I got to do this show called Roast Battle.
No way.
I'm sorry, but I'd love to have you on my podcast. And he didn't say no, but his history is like, just so fascinating to me. And he's done it all: music, acting,
TV show,
TV. Yeah, I mean, he's like. Like you're a great interview because we're friends. We have a lot to talk about. We're like foot soldiers in the same business. Yeah. Some people I interview, it's like after 10 minutes, it's like, what do I talk about? Yeah. So someone like him, I would just hit record and go. Well, that's what I do with every podcast. As you can tell, I don't really have prepared questions.
Which is better, I think.
I mean, when you listen to podcasts, I mean, I tune out after about an hour.
Yeah.
Because I have a short attention span.
An hour is a good time.
So I try and I think we're at about an hour now, but my goal is for people to listen to this and go, I want to hear more from him.
Yeah.
So you come back and we get into not just roast battle or stand up, just life. So
next time.
But I know you got a show tonight at Hermosa.
Oh yeah.
And you got to get going. But this will be released tomorrow, so you got a possible party at your house next Sunday. But
Sunday, yeah.
And you'll be at Roast Battle this Tuesday.
Be at Roast Battle this Tuesday, just hanging out.
Hating?
No hating this week.
Okay.
Just hanging out. And then Sunday, though, fun open mic, hopefully, in Silver Lake between the hours of 1 and 3.
And you will be, if you want, well, I guess you don't want people coming to your house.
No, we do.
Okay, well...
So I'll post on Facebook by Tuesday if it's happening.
I will post the details on my Facebook wall. And once again, I know I have a lot of local LA fans. Please be respectful of going to someone's home. Omid's gracious enough to...
It's going to be fun. It's not a crazy show. It's going to be like, we're going to be serving you breakfast and having like brunch and stuff like that.
Yeah, so just,
it's gonna be a good time.
Have some class.
Yeah.
It's not going to a KISS convention in Burbank. And then any improv shows, Maz Jobrani shows coming up?
Yeah, Maz Jobrani on the 17th and 18th of October in Sacramento.
Punchline.
First time doing there. That should be fun.
And then if you're around Tuesday at the Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
Omid's part of a great benefit show for Persians.
Yep. Don't need to be Persian to be there. You can be anything you want.
Just Owen Smith.
Amir K, Kira Sultanovic.
I mean, if Amir K is going to be there, that's he's another foot soldier in comedy.
He's amazing. He's so funny.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy. He's so nice, I don't even care if he's funny. And I know he is. No, but I know he is funny.
Interesting. That's a good way to put it.
He's so nice. He's almost like that Gerard Carmichael. Where you can't be this nice, dude.
Yeah.
You got to have an angle.
Yeah.
And neither of them don't. So one more time, I know we've talked about it a few times. You can buy your CD live in Bakersfield on iTunes.
iTunes or Bandcamp.
And a CD Baby or no?
CD Baby as well.
So please, I don't plug a lot of people's.
Or you can listen to it for free on Spotify.
Don't listen to for free on Spotify.
It's on there. If you listen to it for free on Spotify, do whatever you can to make it bigger. Share it, rate it, do whatever you can that way.
But
I just want people to hear it. I don't even care.
No, I know, but my fans are pretty loyal. I think I get I don't know, anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 downloads on each episode, which I love. I appreciate it. I mean, Rogan gets 100,000, so I'm not bragging, but please share Omid's comedy CD. Tweet at Gene Simmons. Don't be a dick about it. Just, I'm just trying to make it before I'm 50. Go on iTunes. Leave a review for Inappropriate Earl. Good or bad. I leave them all up. Earl Skakel. Where can people find you on Twitter?
At Brownman3000.
Brownman3000. Instagram?
Omid Singh.
Omid, that's OMIDSINGH. This is one of the good guys, and comedy, and just support him. Like you support him,
Earl.
it just creates a good karma for all of us, and he'll come back when he's a big star. And I could, I mean, the highest downloaded episode of Inappropriate Earl ever is Rowdy Roddy Piper the day after he died. So I'd like to get some living guests, some traction here. Rowdy would love that joke.
In honor of
R.I.P.
Rowdy.
The Pipes is the best. I love him. I miss him a lot. Earl Skakel, Twitter, Instagram. You know where I'm at. iTunes and SoundCloud. And thanks for the support, guys. Follow Omid, Singh. See him Roast Battle Tuesday nights. Comedy Store, 11 o'clock. Bye-bye.